lesson 19. Symbols for multiplication, more about multiplying fractions, and maybe a third part. We'll see. All right, symbols for multiplication. I just need everybody to know the same thing. So maybe you already know this, maybe you don't. But I know you know this symbol for multiplication. 4 and a 3. If you put a little X in between them, it means times, right? Yeah. What about the dot? Yeah. What about parentheses? This means 4 next to a parenthesis, no symbols, no signs. A number right next to a parenthesis means to multiply. You just have to know that. And this actually means 4 times everything in here. Well, what's everything in there? A 3, so 4 times 3. And the crazy thing about parentheses is you can put them on either side. Like you can put the number behind the parenthesis. See how this number is right next to that parenthesis? Means times. Yep. And then you can do the same thing over here, except you can put them both in parentheses. So a parenthesis right beside a parenthesis means times. So here's all your symbols for multiplication. And the math writer of the math problem can write it however he or she wants, however he or she chooses. So you need to know them all, so you'll know what to do when you see a problem. All right, more about multiplying fractions. You know, we talked yesterday or the day before about multiplying fractions, and I think you can do this if you know how to multiply fractions, because this just means 2/3, everything inside the parentheses, take it to the second power, which means, yeah, multiply it times itself. Good. All right, so this would be 2/3 times itself, 2/3. That's what to the second power means, times itself. Well, that's easy peasy. We multiply top times top, bottom times bottom. Oh, awesome. 2/3 to the second power is 4/9. Why don't you try this one? No? By yourself? I bet you can do it. Did you pause it and unpause it? Okay, good. All right, so this is 2/3 to the 4th power. Oh my goodness. How many 2/3 do I need? 4 of them. Dang. Well, we already know 2/3 times 2/3 is 4/9. So we could go 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 2 is 16. And 3 times 3 is the first 9. 9 times another 3 is 27. And 27 times 3, 21 carry 2, is 81. Phew! I don't think those guys have anything in common. Factors. So I think that's in simplest form. So 2/3 to the 4th power is 16 81s. How funny. All right, and one more. I want you to do this one on your own. You don't really need me on this one. Let's see what you get. And I think I'm going to go ahead and switch the things because I need more room. Nope, I don't have enough room. I see what I did. All right, so this is 6 top times top, bottom times bottom is 24. Okay, now in this case, 6 24s, do they have something in common? They're both even. They're both divisible by 2. 3, I think 3 goes into both of those, yes. Hey, but if 2 and 3 go in, so does 6. And so hopefully you'll find the biggest factor they have in common, so you only have to do this once. All right, anyway, 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 24 divided by 6 is 4. Oh, final answer, 1/4. 3/8 times 2/3 is 1/4. Or we could say 3/8 of 2/3 is 1/4. Anyways, before we leave this page, I want to show you something else. Right here, we simplified. Write this down, please. We simplified or reduced after we multiplied, right? Well, I don't know how to write multiplied in simple. Well, after we multiplied. Is there another way? So let's rewrite this one, except I need a different color. That one's getting a little. So another way is 3/8. I'm going to write the same problems. I'm going to show you a shortcut trick unless you already know this. It's wonderful. But if you don't, I'm going to show you now. Guys, you can divide by 6 at the end after you get the answer. That's fine. Or you can simplify first. So you can simplify after you multiply or before you multiply. Let me show you how. This is top and bottom, top and bottom. What we do to the top, we do to the bottom, right? Divide by 6, divide by 6. Well, the same thing occurs here. here, except you don't have to do top to bottom here, top to bottom here. You can do top to bottom here and top to bottom here. And I don't know if you noticed, but 3 over 3 is just 1. Because 3 goes into 3 ones, and 3 goes into 3 ones. I divided by 3 on top. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So now it's 1 over 1. I'd much rather multiply by 1 than anything else, yeah? That's easy. But then looking this way, isn't 2 and 8 both even numbers? They're both divisible by 2. So you can do this. Divide by 2 on top, divide by 2 on bottom. Divide by 2 on top, you get 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. I'm doing this part in my head. And 8 divided by 2, what you do the top? Divide by 2. You do the bottom, divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now, you don't use the old numbers anymore. You just use your new simplified numerators and denominators. So 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 1, yeah, is 4. Oh. So you can simplify before, you can simplify after you multiply, or, sorry, I mixed up my words, or before. It's a new epiphany. Oh my gosh, I hope you'll try it. Yahoo! All right, there's more. In fact, I want you to try this one right here, and I want you to try to simplify before you multiply. Try it now. We'll check that in class, so bring your notes to class. While we're on this topic, we might as well do dividing fractions as well. Divide means the same thing as multiply by the reciprocal. To divide by a fraction, you must multiply by the reciprocal. First of all, what is a reciprocal? Well, here's an original number, 3/4. Its reciprocal is 4/3. So what does reciprocal mean? Exchange the numerator with the denominator. Flip them, top and bottom. They go stand on their head, upside down, whatever. The numerator and the denominator switch places. All right, so that's easy for 3/4. The reciprocal is 4/3. But what about 5? Yeah, just like yesterday or the day before's lesson, you put 5 over 1. You need a numerator and a denominator so you can find the reciprocal. Now that we've got a numerator and denominator, we can find the reciprocal. We just flip it. The reciprocal of 5 whole is 1/5. Pretty cool? All right, now we practice. 5/7 divided by 4/5. Anyways, 5/7 divided by 4/5. To divide by a fraction, the rule is you multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? The first number is not affected. It's 5/7 divided by 4/5, so it's 5/7 times 5/4. This is the trick. The second half of the problem, to divide by a fraction, you must multiply by. That's the second number. All right, well, that's easy peasy. We multiply straight across, we get 25, 28. That's in simplest form. This one, 21/6 divided by 27/4. To divide by a fraction, you must multiply by the reciprocal. So you have to rewrite the problem every time. Don't skip this step. So 21/6 divided by 27/4. To divide by a fraction, you must multiply by the reciprocal. So you flip the second one. You end up multiplying to get your answer to a division problem. Who wants to simplify before? I do. Bring this to class. Let's see how you did. We'll check it. All right.